Hi there folks, Keywii here, and welcome back to Steins Gate, a safe space in which we are just doing whatever the hell we want. We're currently at the Nyan Queen plus Nyan squared or whatever, and we're talking with Ferris, who has the flappy mouth, and we're talking with Daru, who has the unimpressed glare that he always has. And Ferris, I want to hear the rest. Nya. Kyouma and Daru, Nyan, we're having a fun little chit cat. Oh no. Nya, something about the time machine. Ferris really wants to hear Nyan. She gives me a babyish look with upturned eyes. Ooh, I do not find that appealing, personally. It's like, you're very not human anymore. What happened to your nose? But I firmly reject her. It's top secret, not for outsiders. And those big mouths left the whole store here, Nya. That guy! Oh! And then he fucking runs. Well, Ferris, Daru, Nyan. Wow, she is not the kind of person I want to be around. She's targeting Daru now. Don't underestimate him, Ferris, Nyan. Okay, what you're doing is setting up irony. Daru is my most trustworthy right-hand man, the wizard-class super hacker. He won't be tricked into divulging classified information. They've been building an amazing machine that can send emails to the past. We did most of the work, of course. I did it. Me. It was me. And he's broken. Women are scary. He was gonna do that regardless. Is that the time machine, yeah? See, now that's a face of somebody I'd much rather spend time with. She's like, oh my god. I guess you could say that. Wow! You're amazing! Awesome! Extravagant, yeah! Your big brain makes my heart race. I'm so glad that's where the sentence went. Because when I read, your big brain makes my... I wasn't sure what the next word was. And I was concerned. You mean it? I'm embarrassed. Dumbass. So that grin. What grin? I've never once seen him smile. His eyebrows are permanently creased. Ferris dreams of going on the journey through time, yeah. I'll bring you along someday. You and me, Ferris, we're going places. Daru, don't make promises you can't keep. Oh, I didn't. By the way, it's been bugging me, but what is it? What is time anyway? Yeah. What? What kind of question is that? Time is often compared to a river, yeah, flowing from past to future. But is that really how it is, Nya? Alright. If time is a river, then where is the present, Nya? Is it the point? Is it the line? Where does the present begin and end, Nya? Well, there is no end to the present. It is always ever here. Now that you mention it, I only have a vague concept of time. Never gave it any serious thought, despite building the time machine. The present is a leaf floating on the river. It moves along with the flow from past to future. Well, so, are we riding on that leaf now? When you died, do you fall off? You could say that. All points upstream from the leaf are the past, downstream, the future. Eventually you reach the ocean, and that's when, well, that's when the time stream dies. That's why it's called a stream, actually. That's not a word. But is that leaf only the present for humans? Yeah. Meaning? Humans make illness to define the observed time, which is how we know that this leaf is the present. Well, yes, that's we make up units of time, but the present isn't a unit of time. It is now. That's just it. The present is now. That's now. Like what you see around you, that is the present. All around us, right here, right now. Now. That is the present, okay? You can't really describe it, but the future we made up, the past we made up, the present is what we observe with our eyes. That's how... It's really hard to explain my thought process there, but that's how I see it. But if every living thing in the universe went extinct, nothing would exist to observe the present, yeah? Observation does not make the present. There was the present before there was humans, and there's the present. Presumably there's the present after humans. The present is what the universe is. It's a subjective thing. In that case, where'd the present go, yeah? Won't something like God or the will of the universe observe it? But what if God is a four-dimensional being who can freely move through time, yeah? You know, I have a thought on that. Let me read this first. Four-dimensional space-time is comprised of 3 spatial dimensions plus the 4th dimension, time. 3-dimensional beings, like humans, can only move in the 3 spatial dimensions. A 4-dimensional being would be able to move through time as easily as humans can move through air. Alright, so this is about what I'm talking about. I don't think that the 4th dimension is time. I feel that, much like the first 3 dimensions, length, width, depth, the 4th dimension is also spatial. And time is just existent for all of them. No matter how many dimensions you go up, there is no way you can just move through time like it's water or whatever. The 4th dimension, the 4th spatial dimension, and I have to specify because all science fiction does is take the 4th dimension and be like, oh, that's time, even though the 3rd dimension is space-time, and the 2nd dimension is also space-time, and the 1st dimension is fucking space-time. No. The 4th dimension is also a spatial dimension. It is the W axis. I know that it goes X, Y, Z, and then there's no letter after that, but, you know, that's just because we invented the scale, and we're 3-dimensional, and therefore we can't do the thing. There is 4th dimensional space. We just aren't programmed to see it. It's like a drawing on a piece of paper trying to figure out 3 dimensions. It's just... Look up Flatland. Look up Flatlanders. It's really interesting, really intriguing. I've been really involved in 4th dimensional stuff recently. And I say for spatial dimensions because that's incredibly important. There's a game that's sort of in the making. I'm so bad at names. I'm so bad at remembering stuff. But there's a 4D toy box. Look that up. It's pretty neat. It's like a 4th dimensional cube is a cube on 8 sides, and it's really intriguing, and I love the idea of it, and that's why it morphs when it goes through the 3rd dimension, and it's really fucking hypercubes are neat, and look this stuff up because it's really cool. And I say that this is all bogus. The 4th dimension is not time, and we should stop associating it that way. It's not. People are getting misinformed. If God is the one who decides the present, then won't our present move with him, yeah? Well, now you're assuming that if there is a God, which you're assuming... Well, no, you did say if. Alright, so, you're presuming that God is male, which, I mean, yeah, if there is a God, then white dudes have been kind of in charge of the world for a long time, so, yeah, God wouldn't be female because, you know, women have been treated like shit, so no reasoning there. But, yeah, the whole present thing, it's not, doesn't make any, this is hard. No, it's not. It's very simple, in fact. So what you're saying is that the present is subjective to the observer. I mean, yes, I am saying that, but also it's subjective not to an observer, it's just subjective. If we go for that assumption, then the past and the future also depend on the observer, yeah. If Ferris were to use a time machine to travel back 1 week, then Kyouma and Darren Nyan's present would become Ferris's future. If you go back 1 week, you're in what you consider the past. So then their present would be your future? What? No, it would be your past. I'm not certain I follow what you're trying to say. I guess that makes sense. I mean, somebody explain it to me. So how does the leaf model reflect that difference, Nyan? Neither Darren nor I has an answer to that. Well, here's the thing. The leaf is the present. Not where it is, but it is the present. So if you move it, then suddenly, if you're on the leaf, then suddenly, well, you would be, wherever you become is the present. Not where you originally started, but where you are. It does that, like, where you started becomes the future or past or whatever, but it's no longer the present to you. It's where you're from, not where you are. Where you are is the present. Perhaps nobody has. I just answered. Just like the collapse of causality thing that Karasu mentioned. Does that mean that time machines and time travel are impossible after all? But CERN's jellified test subjects physically traveled as far back as 1921. You know, as far as we know. Anyway, if everything depends on the observer, then clocks are meaningless, Nyan. Well, technically yes, but also technically no. A clock is a tool to measure time. It doesn't determine what time is. Like, I can look at my clock and it says 6:07. That doesn't mean that means anything. That just means that I'm using that to like, as a tool, determine how I interact with time. It's clocks are a tool in order to measure a thing, a phenomenon. To measure the present. Fun times fly and hard times drag, yeah. In other words, the flow of time changes depending on your point of view. That's kind of irrelevant. The whole, like, subjectivity of enjoyment. All it is that when you're enjoying something, then you're checking the time less frequently and you're thinking about it less. When you're not enjoying something, you are checking the time more regularly and you're thinking about other things than the thing you're doing, and that's why it feels like it drags on. Speaking of which, as you grow older, it feels like time starts to flow faster, doesn't it? Well, that's a subjectivity. I have so many things to say. That's a subjectivity thing. When you're born, every second is 100% of your existence. And then, you know, after that it's 50%, and then 25%, and so on and so forth. So, your first year of life was 100% of your life, but at 80, 1 year of your life is a smaller percent. I didn't actually... When you're 100, there we go, easier number to work with. When you're 100, 1 year is just 1% of your life, not 100%. So that's why time feels like it goes faster, because it's less percentage of your overall existence. Janet's law. Okay, let's take a look. It probably describes what I just described. Oh, wrong. A perspective on the passage of time proposed by psychologist Janet. For some reason, as one ages, time seems to pass by more quickly. For example, 1 year is 1/7 of a 7-year-old's life, 1/70th of a 70-year-old's life. By this reasoning, the subject length of time is inversely proportional to age. That's what I just described. By the same logic, technically, you're at half your life around the age of 20. Based on the average life expectancy of about 80. I think about this stuff sometimes now. I think time might not be something as simple as a river now. Yeah, but you only use that based off of false information. And what ifs that don't actually have relevance. Yeah, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. It's very simple, in fact. The strict definition of time, similar to the question of where is the self, is one of humanity's eternal questions. Countless renowned scholars have left this question unanswered. The past and future are made up of memories and predictions and hopes and dreams, and the present is all that actually is. The present is the self. There you go. I just answered everything. There's no amateurs like us can answer it. Shut up. But there's one thing I can do. Oh, wait. Wait, here we go. Alright. I'm not doing that one. Fret not. Though physics and philosophy may deny us, our machine has made time travel possible. My correct error. That's what makes time travel possible. Yeah, that's right. Nah. Looks like you guys have kicked the reason to the curb now. I mean, sort of, but not. You know, your reason doesn't make sense. It's built up in flawed logic. Upstairs wants to use the time machine too, yeah? Can I please? Sure, I'll let you use it as much as you want, Ferris Man. Really, yeah? Then it's a promise? Yeah? Dude, don't decide things on your own. I do it, but you can't. Whoa, he shook. First springs up with joy and hugs Daru's rotund body. That's all it takes to make Daru look like he's died and gone to heaven. Because he's a pathetic weirdo who gets off on a hug. But I shouldn't be too judgy. I was judging too much of the time discussion. Shouldn't judge character time, too. After killing some more time at May Queen, I leave Daru and head back to the lab. When I arrive, I find Karasu sitting on the bench in front of the Brawn Tube workshop, talking on her phone. What? You called me all the way to Japan, and now you... I knew it. You never wanted to see me, did you? Oh, she sounds sad and crying. That's not good. Oh no! The street is dark and her hair is covering her eyes, so I can't make out her expression. But from the sound of her voice, I can tell that she's crying. I mean, yeah, me too. Why did you make me come here, then? Can you at least tell me that? Karasu lifts her head in surprise. She must have noticed me. She falls into an awkward silence, then turns and walks away. It looked like she was crying. I wonder if she got into a fight. Who could have made her cry like that? Well, I don't know specifics. I mean, I might. I've forgotten. I mean, it kind of sounds like her guardian or parent or whatever is calling her back from Japan. That's what I gathered from the conversation. Her boyfriend? Okay. Even a friendless, experiment-loving girl like her can get a boyfriend. You made an assumption and now you act like it's 100% fact. Stop this. No, there's no way such an arrogant, abusive girl can have a boyfriend. Another assumption. But then who was it? A sibling? Or maybe your father who she hasn't seen in 7 years? Why would he be in charge? I'm afraid to ask. Kirsu's scary when she snaps. The memory of her baleful glare sends a shiver up my spine. I hurry to the second floor. When I'm safe in the lab, I start browsing At Channel. It doesn't look like Titer has made an appearance today. The Titer craze that has dominated the occult board for the past week is starting to die down. It's almost as if it acts like a meme from the modern era of 2019, not 2020. Memes are weird right now. In the end, it looks like I'm the only one who took Titer seriously, but everyone is skeptical of him now, especially the poster called Kara Gohan and Kamehameha. Oh. Honestly, I can't tell Titer's true intentions either. Suddenly I hear the door swing open. Startled, I turn to face the sound. And there, standing, is the woman herself. Karasu standing there glaring at me. Her eyes are red. Oh, they're kind of purple, actually. So she was crying. Why did she come back? Yeah? I wasn't crying or anything, okay? Alright, that's... Way to open a sentence. Way to open a discussion with denial of a thing. Yeah, that makes sense. No, you were definitely crying. Don't be ridiculous. Where's your proof? Your eyes are red. Your eyes are red. Her glare weakens for a second, but then returns at double the intensity. But that ought to be for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, I'm Keywii. You've been great to and yourself a delightful day. Goodbye.